I think we should probably reminisce about the events of the weekend for the game. Don't make the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. So this week, we got to watch Relevant Trap Deck win an event on a live stream, which caused the entire community to have a mental breakdown and start throwing literal poop at each other on the internet. That's right, a resolution of an Eradicator epidemic virus for 5 cards against a Kashtira player, or for whatever, and a hand rip for 1 or whatnot. It was, personally, it was great to watch. Because, sorry, Kashtira players, like, you guys have had your reign. Now you can feel what it was like being a Runic player a format or two ago, getting eradicated for, everything. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are like, oh no, Eradicator was fine back then. All right, it's fine. It's now that a trap deck is playing it that it's so unfair. So this week, from what I've seen, people are having giant internet cry fest over Eradicator epidemic virus. Actually, it hasn't even been like, well, it's been EEV and it's been Labyrinth, like, but how dare Eradicator epidemic virus as a one-of detour the finals of this game? How dare it? This card's been in the format for what, so long at this point in time? It's mainly because a trap deck showed up that was playing it. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Players at this point in time, they're having a massive crybaby fit because, oh, how dare trap decks be relevant to the game? If Yu-Gi-Oh! Players had their chance, they would just take the entire trap mechanic out of the game if they had their chance. Trust me, it'd be spells and monsters at this point. So one of the biggest events, actually one of the final big events here, we do have the remote duel YCS coming up this weekend. Can't wait for the amount of people to go, doesn't matter, Robbie. Well, that's fine. I mean, you're going to have Euros the week after, so that'll be the thing. Technically, up until the NAWCQ, remote YCS, Euros, I think there's another big event somewhere in there, and then you hit the NAWCQ in 2 weeks. I actually can't wait for something out of left field to spin around here. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, they cry even louder about something like Eradicator. People need to realize that, you remember when Engage came back, right? Remember when everybody was throwing a massive tantrums on the internet going, oh my god, Sky Striker's ruining Yu-Gi-Oh! Sky Striker's got like, I think maybe 2 tops, maybe 3 of this format, out of the 40 to 50 plus of Sprite and Kashtira, not even combined. But Sky Striker Engage is a problem. Yeah, trust me. Not the other highest represented decks in the format, but how could this happen to us, man? How could they bring back Engage and allow a deck to have 2 spots in Top Cut? I can't believe it. It's so crazy, Sprite Runic Live Twin for the win. Am I right? Oh man. I will say though, Mikanko has been a ride as of late. Somebody's gonna be like, oh great, here comes Robbie again on this Mikanko train. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just came off of a regional yesterday where I got to watch, in the last round of Swiss, a meta-relevant matchup of Mikanko versus Mikanko. And I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I thought the Flaunderies matchup was hilarious to watch for the interactions and things that you have to jump through for that. I didn't think that I would watch Kaiju Turbo go. Alright, and trust me, in the Mikanko mirror, alright, both duelists ended up drawing. Alright, because it's literally, oh boy, equip, battle phase reflection. Oh, didn't see the Kaiju, what am I gonna do? And remember, 2 monsters with 0 attack cannot, crash into each other and destroy themselves because Yu-Gi-Oh! Said so. They don't physically have attack points. So you're watching all of these Mikanko monsters start to stack up on the field with all these equips, and it kind of comes down to, all right, well, can you make a Zeus for this to matter, to board wipe? The answer is, well, if you Zeus and they Kaiju over the Zeus, all right, and then they have 2 Mikanko monsters, or 3 for whatever for the OTK, well then you're just out of the way. You're done. So like, there are things that you have to watch in that matchup that I feel like you need to be aware of. So that's not exactly, besides like the big giant Eradicator copy pasta cry fest. A Mikanko mirror actually meta-relevantly mattering for top cut in an event. Oh, man, Mikanko innovations, and I'm not just saying this because like I'm pushing Minkanko's agenda or anything. I genuinely have a vested interest in this deck because it's so unique. Also, the amount of Mikanko is a pure example of Yu-Gi-Oh players not fundamentally reading. I've heard multiple accounts and seen multiple accounts actually of these. Like you got the wind one with the equip up, and then they're like, wait, it can't be destroyed by battle, and it can't be destroyed by card effects, and you can't target it? That's so toxic. It's like, I mean, yeah, it is, but like Zeus clears these monsters. Like Zeus is your win condition against this deck, and it amazes me that like, I've seen rage quits to this deck now because people don't know how to play against it. And I've been shouting to the top of my lungs out here going, Minkanko's relevant! Pay attention! And if you're not prepared for the matchup, I mean, that's on you at this point. Like, this deck has been sitting around here for, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks at this point in time. If you're trying to play competitively and you've never done this, that's great. My friend, the Shark Duelist, actually played out of the regional and actually played against the Mikanko Duelist that got 10th place. And my friend had never played the matchup in his life, and he's like, what am I supposed to do against this? And it's, I mean, if you're playing Sharks into Mikanko, I got bad news for you. That's not a matchup that I thought I would see anytime either, but you do have to be aware of that actually being a thing. So this format, I will say, is very interesting just to see the things that are kind of coming together at this point in time, especially when you see how the intricate interactions are. I mean, okay, well, let's be honest here for a second. All right, Sprite feels like at the beginning of the format that it was going to be so much further ahead, and then you have Kashtira kind of bringing up the rear here as well. Let's not call it what it is. Like Fenrir, Unicorn are busted cards. All right, and then everything that Sprite does, Sprite, Life Twin, Runic, those 3 packages together have made like the perfect Megazord hybrid deck in the format, and it's going to continue to be this thing. Also, shout out to Vanquish Soul here. Vanquish Soul has been I think it's going to continue to be a very good deck for the regional grind. Now, if you're trying to enter into a YCS and win with Vanquish Soul, I think the deck kind of suffers from the same thing that some other decks do. The consistency of the deck kind of pans off about round 8, round 9, and you will start to kind of run into the little flat tire syndrome where, your deck won't be able to kind of carry you for as far as you particularly want it to. So that's something to kind of be aware of at this point in time. Vanquish Soul is doing pretty well out here, but it's not exactly the most consistent thing. But, I mean, overall, everything out of the weekend that I saw here was fantastic. I mean, we had Speedroids out of nowhere, top German nationals. Like, what? Where did that one come from? Rogue still is doing fantastic. Like, even though, like, the top end of the format is the way it is, you are seeing so many other cool innovations in the lower end of things that it is actually hilarious at the end of the day. And especially if something like Speedroids, or aka was me, a Rise Heart all along. Same thing with, Vanquish Soul. Haha, it was me, a Rise Heart all along. These decks are borrowing things from the top end of the format, but that's fine. It's allowing these decks to kind of carry through here and do their thing. So overall, yeah, Eradicator is an annoyance, but it's been here for a very long time. I don't see a reason that it's suddenly crazy. Right? You see one good scenario where it resolves and everybody loses their crap. Mikanko, meta relevancy bumping up slightly. You got to be aware of it right now. And of course, the rest of the format is going as we kind of expected it to at this point. And I think we'll continue to see some interesting things. Duelist Nexus is a month and a half away. Technically, Age of Overlord is also a month away at this point in time, so there's a lot coming. Leave a comment down below to what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.